All right, Steeler Nation, what's going on, everybody? I'm Mac, back with another video. As always, do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, follow on Instagram. Link is in the box below. It is September 3rd, and we are 5 days away from Steeler kickoff in Atlanta. And to absolutely nobody's surprise, Russell Wilson has been named the starter for the Steelers against the Falcons, and most likely Russell Wilson will be the starter for the whole season. I mean, the reason that I'm even coming on here and making a video about this is to pretty much just confirm everything that I've been saying about this the QB room space that we hopefully improved on back in spring, is because I sat down here and I said all offseason that Russell Wilson was going to be the starter. And, well, here I am now. Russ is the starter. Justin Fields is the backup, because I sat down here and I've personally said, and I still say it, I'm not a fan of Justin Fields. I'm not a fan of the way he plays. I'm especially not a fan of his decision making. And overall, I just don't see that quarterback who goes out there and is supposed to be a promising future for us. And again, I don't like to base everything off of preseason, but it goes beyond that. He showed that in Chicago for the first part of his career, and Russell Wilson beat him out in practice, and he beat him out in preseason for the starting job. So it's like, no duh, Russell Wilson was going to get the starting job. I mean, we're talking about two quarterbacks that, yes, both use their legs to their advantages, and they both know how to have maneuverability in the pocket. But really, when it comes, and sure, Justin Fields at this point may have a little bit more of an upside than Russ does because Fields is significantly younger. But I'm telling you, experience and track record is going to beat you every single time. And that's what got Russell Wilson the job. Now, I know a lot of people are coming on here and saying, well, Russ really didn't do anything in preseason. Excuse me. Russ didn't really do anything in preseason. Russ didn't, light up the scoreboard in preseason. He didn't have a dominant preseason. I mean, sure, some of it is on Russ. And I do say that he definitely needs to make smart decisions, and he needs to be able to find receivers better, and he needs to be able to use those legs like he's known for. But there's a couple problems right there with that. Firstly, Russ is in his mid to late 30s now. I think he's 36 now. So when you're in your 30s like that, and this goes not just for mobile quarterbacks, but it goes especially for running backs, especially in today's league, because let's face it, guys, running backs is the most replaceable position in the NFL. But when you are a mobile quarterback and you're on the wrong side of 30 like that, you can't use your legs the way that you can, or that you were able to used to be able to use them. Okay? You don't get faster with age. You get slower with age. All right? And I think that's what a lot of people are going to notice about Russ. So I think that's a big concern right there. So am I expecting Russ to go out there and, turn the time machine back to like 2012 or 2019 or, 2017 or whatever? No, I'm not. Am I expecting Russ to duplicate like 2018 to about 2021 or so, when he started off the season putting up MVP type numbers, getting MVP praise, and then falling on his face as the season progressed? No. What I am expecting out of Russ is for a veteran, experienced quarterback who is a proven winner, who is a guy who has 9 Pro Bowls on his resume, a Super Bowl winning quarterback, a guy who is actively a league leader in not only playoff wins, which is something that this fan base desperately needs in Pittsburgh right now, because we haven't had a playoff win going on 8 years now, which is pretty mind-blowing to think about it with all the teams that we've had. But a guy who also is clutch, who has a clutch reputation when his number's called up. Russ is currently an active leader in fourth quarter comebacks and game-winning drives. And that's the sensation that we all had with Big Ben when he was here. Ben liked playing under pressure. Ben liked playing from behind. Ben liked being the guy to conduct the game-winning drives. Russ has done that a good portion of his career as well. But again, I'm not expecting old pup Russ to go out there and duplicate that. I'm expecting a guy to just go out there, prove why he earned, yes, I said earned, team captain honors, and be a leader on this team. That's something else that we need. We need a leader on this team, and Russ has leader qualities. And whatever people may say about his drama and whatever people may say about his attitude, okay, at the end of the day, the guy can still have leader qualities. And I expect that out of him, especially for a guy who's been in the league now for 13 years. But my second biggest problem with Russ, well, my second biggest concern with Russ, the O-line. You want to know why Russ didn't look so sharp in preseason? It's because he didn't really have time to do anything. All his career, he's had terrible to middling O-lines, especially in Seattle. Okay? More often than not, couldn't see over the linemen, couldn't read the targets well. And yet he still went out there and he put up some great numbers. He put up some awesome stats in a quarterback friendly era. And he did that with not even great receivers and great targets as well. Who's the best receiver that Russ has ever had throughout his entire career? I'd probably say DK Metcalf. But I mean, the Seahawks from 2012 to about 2015, they didn't really have any great receivers. Tyler Lockett was good, but you would call him a superstar. And you look at the targets that the Steelers have, going with a 4 tight end set. You know, you could probably call it a 5 tight end set because Connor Hayward's a tight end fullback hybrid. You got 5 receivers. You got a young guy like George Pickens. You got a slot receiver, hopefully, who can play in Roman Wilson. You got a deep threat in Van Jefferson. And you got Calvin Austin III, who's got great wheels on him. And I think really the only thing that Russ is lacking is just that true number 1 receiver. But he has played well without number 1 receivers. But again, this O-line concerns the hell out of me because if our center, Zach Frazier, who we got in the draft, something that 99.99% of this fan base has been screaming for years now is draft a center. If he goes down, what are we going to do as far as the center goes? And that right side of the line is especially concerning because we know how busted up that is, especially if you put Broderick Jones on that right side, because we all know what happened with that in preseason. The point I'm trying to make is this. Despite those 2 concerning factors right there for us, for me, he was still able to play with that in Seattle and Denver, and he was still able to put up great to respectable numbers. And that's why he got the starting job over Justin Fields here. He has the experience. He has played better with adversity. And he's a better leader than Justin Fields is. Now, a lot of people are saying that we don't stand a chance against Atlanta. I'm going to get more into that in my my pregame I hope to have out by the end of the week. A lot of people saying we don't have a chance because Atlanta, you know, they got a better offense. They got a new head coach. We have their old OC. But maybe, just maybe, Arthur Smith working with this particular type of quarterback right here could be the spark that this offense needs. Because Sean Payton was not a very good head coach in Denver. He just wasn't. That's why Russ missed the final couple weeks of last season. Not because that he was bad or not because he sucked like a lot of people in the media want you to believe. It's because Sean Payton didn't know what the hell he was doing. And Denver's still paying the majority of Russ's contract. So there you go with that right there. But that's why Russ got the starting job with us. Okay? That's all there is to it. Anyway, let me know what you think down in the comments below. I'm Mac, checking on out for the day. Have a good one, everybody.